Hey guys, we back. It's Monday. Sorry for the echo. I'm in an empty room, currently transitioning from one location to another, but that's neither here nor there. Again, like and subscribe. You can search me up on YouTube by simply just typing in the search Dr. Melvin Johnson. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna read chapter 9 for us, just a paragraph or two. And it's basically how McKinnen Mondays works. By the way, you just read a paragraph from the chapter. I kind of talk about where my inspiration comes from, talk about the content there. And again, I'm getting some feedback, which is great. Also, again, if there's any English teachers in high school who need a book that's challenging and good for discussion pieces and relativity, I think this is the one. It also talks about growth and family orientation and just family in general, diversity, discrimination, bullying, all those things are in there, and good topic starters. Spoke to an English teacher not too long ago, and she really enjoyed it. So I hope to hear from other English teachers. And if you don't teach anything, just read it for the enjoyment. I've had plenty of people say that they enjoyed it as well. It'll take you on an emotional roller coaster, and it'll definitely make you uncomfortable at times. So I think it's important to, explore yourself and see what boundaries are there so you can create, bigger ones for yourself and more challenges for yourself. So let's get started. My father begins. Molly, when I was a child, I was larger than other kids. And Kevin's father befriended me in elementary school. Grandpa told me to stay away from him because he's going to use me. But I didn't listen because Carrie Crow told me that my dad was just jealous and upset that he couldn't hang out with the crow. I believed him over my own father, not noticing that my only job with Carrie was to protect him and fight his battles. I was a little bully. I was his little bully who fought and bullied whomever he told me to. It wasn't until junior high that I realized when he told me to stop talking to your mother and Miss McKinnen, and I didn't understand why. So in this situation, in this portion or this part of the book, Molly confronts her dad about the things that, her parents didn't talk about, and about, the relationship, the long-standing relationship between the McKinnens and the Crows. And the Crow, for those of you who are not familiar, is the antagonist character in the book, and basically the family. So we're starting to learn a little bit more about the relationship between the McKinnens and the Crows, and Molly is hearing this and finally realizing, okay, I'm understanding why my father and my mother didn't really speak too much about the situation and didn't really come to her defense when things happened. She's going to learn a little bit more and kind of challenge a little bit more of those things too. I will encourage you to continue to read that because Molly really, it opens up some doors for her as far as what is going on and what transpires and how she's feeling about it. So in this topic here, we're looking at surpassing your heroes. So sometimes we set goals and we have our role models or people that we look to. I chose the term heroes, but hero is a loose term, right? I think a hero in my mind is just somebody who is in a sense a guide and does the things that you like to do, but does them at a really high level and is very good at them, right? Not necessarily someone who rescues you or maybe they do rescue you. Maybe they change your life just by exposing you to the thing that they're really good at and that they pursue and that they're really happy doing. So what do you do when this person has guided your life, right? And it could be a family member, it could be anybody who's guided your life and talked about the things that they've done and gotten to a certain level, and you get past that level. You do things that they said they were going to do, but then you do them and then do them not only exceedingly well, but at another level. For me, I did that, right? I'm not going to get into specifics of it, but someone that I considered a hero as a child and someone who I listened to and kind of got in my life, they talked about things that they wanted to do, and I either went out and did them or just did them at a higher level. And I think that does something to you. It kind of makes you, first of all, uncomfortable, because now you kind of get to a point to where you're like, where do I go from here? Now what? What do I do now? And not only that, you have to figure out something. You have to then find other heroes to look to. And you have to not only find them, you have to then see where they are and see if they're on your level or if they've exceeded your level. So for me, that's kind of where I am. I'm in this transition where I've done all the things that I set out to do related to where my hero is, or where they said they wanted to do, or wherever they are. And now I have to look at other things. I have to now find other things. And a part of that is what I'm doing with you guys. But you have to find other areas of things that you enjoy and learn to excel at them. So I think it's important to do that, right? The next thing is, how do you handle harassment? I'm not the expert at that. But what I do suggest as far as being harassed by someone is, if all possible, you want to, of course, get away from them, right? But in lieu of getting away from them, you want to shift your environment. And what I mean by that is, and again, I'm just giving an example. I'm not an expert. Please don't say, hey, this is not the end all be all, because I don't know. There's different levels of harassment at all different points, and that's kind of not what I'm kind of relating this to what Molly's been going through. And in this case, she's trying everything, right? But for me, in my perspective, I feel that getting away from harassment, you have to, in some sense, one, change your perspective on it. You have to look at it different. You have to look at it as far as, what can I do, or how can I grow as an individual to avoid this harassment? Then you also have to change your environment. I know for some children that's virtually impossible, but what I mean by that, and in situations that I've done or I've been in as a teacher, is if you are around someone who's harassing you, stop hanging around them. It's that simple, and sometimes it's not. But as an adult, just change your environment as much as you can. Whatever you normally do, shift that to a different time, you got to shake things up, is what I would say. And if it gets really extreme, of course, you do it through the law. You call the authorities, restraining order and all those things, if all possible. So in the theme of what's happening in this chapter is kind of what I was talking about. And again, I'm no expert in harassment. I just kind of see different people talk about different things through me teaching or, listening to other stories. And there's things that are important that you should do. You have to kind of change things and shake things up, because a lot of people who harass you are used to your routine. If you change your routine, change your environment, shift some things, it may subside. If not, then you got to go through the law enforcement. So when it's bigger than you, I think when things are, or tasks or things that you're trying to do or things around you, when it's bigger than you, it's always important to step away from it. You've got to step away from it to give yourself time to figure out what to do with it. It's very, very important to do that. Step away from it, reclaim your thoughts, rethink it, come at it in a different way, because it's overwhelming. If you get overwhelming, it's really hard to accomplish or solve. And sometimes you just take what you can from it, because sometimes it's too big for you to solve. But as long as you get a piece of it, I think that's good. Broken ties due to jealousy is another one. Sometimes when people get jealous of something or that you're doing, or you are different or more comfortable or better at it or whatever, jealousy can come, and you have to know when it's time to check out. You have to know when it's time for me to exit. I have surpassed this thing, or this person is really hindering and not growing, and it's not my friend, so I got to move on and I got to change. I got to make a change. So in the theme of that, it's just about all of those things. Again, it's about that time to conclude. I thank you guys for listening. Again, like and subscribe, comment. You can comment also on Instagram. I'm there, Dr. Melchris2, MELCHRISTWO. And again, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you. See you guys next Monday.